Sinada aloha sora kudari ni hana kudali hana dita sa kudari ni namin. Women, you know what I have posted about the John infinite? 8 is what we call infinite. Because when you say 8, you are blaspheming me. Angel of Philadelphia. You know, this is why we say, should not take your God's name in vain, as every number is wording to us and the letters. You know, every number is a wording to the God. When I say in the John that every time my family sees me backing up and rise after the slain virgins, I get back up again and work again. That is the work, humans. That is the work. After you work from the other temple, and then when you leave from that body, you go back again and work again. You know? But many of you does not want to come back and just stays as a spirit. You don't want to go back in the temple until you were forced to go back to life. This what I speak to you is when you were when you were a soul. You know, after you died from the body, and then in your past lives, after you die from your body in your past lives, you didn't want to go back and just want to stay there and think that he will come. You know, you knew in the spirits that it will be, but you didn't want to go back because you think he's done it all. This is what you have learned from those, you know, those I could not call them preacher because the preacher of today's is I. You know, you must. And Sadhu is the John, the you know. Sadhu is the prophet. He is the prophet. I'm the preacher. This is the differences of the preacher, because what I speak to you is about realms. What Sadhu Sandar speak is about what my father says. You know? It's written in John 8 that every time I incarnate, my those I love is happy to see me in my incarnations because they know I'm about to work. I'm a workaholic, humans. Even in this form, I'm a workaholic. Even in the middle of the night, I work. You know, all day, humans. All day, I prepare to work. This is why I don't get to eat. I just work and work and work. And then, when they call me, that's when I come. And even in the middle of the night, I wash clothes, humans, by my hands. I don't have anything like you, washing machine, you know. I used to have when I was living lavishly before Father sent me to the wilderness, humans. You know. I have, humans, I have more. I leave everything for the work of my Father. You know, humans? Since then, I tried to sell things out just to cope for my daily living. But I wasn't allowed. It's Father that is blocking everything. That is what you do, humans, when you are called, when you are working the work of the Papa, you are not allowed to sell a thing. You know, humans? You are not allowed to sell a thing, and you call yourself pastors, prophets, and you do is sell the knowledge. You must. That's sins. You know, when it says that every time throughout my incarnations, I keep backing, you know, death after death is the meaning of being born again. I am born again because death after death through slains. After I was slain as living offering in the one bod, it's like a roses, humans. This is how things got done. You know, You believe that through Him all things were made. Because of that, humans. When I don't have a life for this one, I incarnate as a flower. You know? I incarnate as a flower spiritually. I plant it. I plant it until it blooms and becomes flesh. Because everything happens in the flesh. In the flesh to us is what you call spirit, because now he had a spirit. He has a flesh in a spirit. You know, Yamas? He can, you can see him if it's time. If he, if he allows you to hear his voice, he would. But humans, his voice, you won't like it. It's like when he, the thunder? Humans. This is why I'm preparing you for all this. Because he is not what you think he is. I keep telling you this. You know? When I don't have a life for this one to incarnate as a woman, or you call the human, because woman to us is human. When I don't have a life to incarnate as a human, I incarnate as a flower or whatever. A rock, a stones. This is how Quran was incarnated. The time when I was Kura. Kura. This all happens as everything around you is with the spirits looking after it, humans. Like flowers of roses. I am the spirit in it. When I was rose. Mysteries. I'm turning because no one can get to me before. When you have not gone through sufferings. This is how all things done, humans. It's written in John Infinite, or you called 8. When it's, I just said to Michael, why are you speaking about your name? Because my name, humans, they call me 8. That's my number as an angel of Philadelphia. I'm preaching. This is how things get done, humans. And when I don't have a life for this, it's happened already, like a rose. It's been planted already. This is how I become a mole, humans. A mole. And in this end, I am a surveillance to each and every one. Measurement of judgment. Not just this end, but throughout lifetime, humans. And when I don't have a name for this creation, you call the flowers or whatever, I incarnate as a santan, a flowers. This is how too I become prame, but being prame was a will of God. A will of God to passed on from him to me, May. Because in the beginning, I was Mayat, humans. I was Mayat. Already, a symbol of when he gave me his heart. And this is how I incarnate. I become a wanderer. When I have, when he have said about because those times of evils, I have a dust in him, so I become him because he calls me. I told you this in the other record. When angel sin, he calls me Lord, and then when I come, that's when I become you. A passing of the thrones, you call doves. A passing of the thrones, meaning names. I become you, your spirit becomes me, because that is what you pay to me, to finish the work of yours, the work of the Father that you have not done. This is how things done. When I don't have a life for this, when it's one been done, because I don't keep going back to the same name, humans. When I know this color is this, if one spirit or angel has not done this flowers yet, I incarnate as a color. If I incarnate as a red, I incarnate as a blue. Humans, I incarnate as a blue. The same name, different colors. Same but different. Humans? This is how you believe that all things, through Him, all things were made, because that's what I've been doing. When I don't have a life for this nature, I choose and make something else, because I am what you called. I can make things out of nothing. Humans? You called it it says I cannot translate it because of the woman Jezebel is that is what it is, humans. And there I have many lives, humans. I have many lives that I've laid down. As to it's to the when I was roses, it's a glory. It's a glory. When I incarnate, it's for the tribes. Humans, it's for the tribes. And I have many lives that I have laid down for my people. And there's only a little that are labor. You get that? Only few are the laborers. Because you have not been working, and all you've been doing is believe by your, what your devil father taught you. You called pastor that I have paid it all. I did for my people. There's only few that hate us labor without veining my name. And I'm pleased to the Buddhists. Humans, every day, they are those who found Cain. When I was sitting in my sofa, in my chair, humans, when I was sitting in my chair, I was working, they come to me. I saw them in the middle of the night. They were a spirit. I ran away as a symbol when I was Juna, who ran away from my father. When the Buddhist come to me and ask me, Lord, this is the time when, after my head was banged on the wall. That is the time too that they come to me in the middle of the night. Many of them, because not just Buddhists, there were Americans that with them, also spirits that told them that I found the law, I found the Cain. They say they saw me in a place where I went, and says that this spirit of American has been following me throughout throughout those times after my head was banged on the wall. But I didn't take any notice. I take notice, but I'm quiet, humans. Because when you see spirit, you should be quiet. You should not talk, because they get angry. They get angry, they messed your mind up. Even so, you don't say anything when they are trying to call you and you are not obeying. That's when they mess you up too. Humans? This is what they do. So those times when they show up to me around the 12 midnight, because 11, they say 11, they're here. They are monks, humans. They are monks. It was time for them to pray as when they come to me right in front of my face, right in front of me, and then they were wearing their robe as monks, the orange color or darker brownish, brownish. To me, it's a meaning of being close to me. Humans, being close to me. So when they found me, no one sees them, only I, and I was the only one in my office. And then I ran off, because those times I wasn't ready, humans. I wasn't ready that I have actually seen spirits. Because usually I only speak to them in my revival. Around trees, anywhere. I see them when they are, when they want me to see them. Because usually they're just shadows. They're just shadows. But those times when the monk showed up in front of me, I ran off. And then I realized why I see that, why I see this. That's when I started seeing things. But this American lad keep following me wherever I go. He's always there. And then those times, until those times when I lifted him up. When I lifted him up. And the monks are still, they are in there, humans. They are in there. Do you get that? It's not all about your religion, humans. Because your religion is the one that messed up and divided you. It says stated in John 8 that your father is the devil. Who are your father? They're your pastors. They are the one who carried you in wherever you are now, in your so-called religious. This is why it says to die is gain. Gain because they see who is who in this world. Humans, as a spirit, you say it all. But you, humans, who cannot see spirit, you claim things, preach things, when all you've been doing is calling those calling those living in peaceful, in graveyards. This is how stars keep falling. This is how deaths keep coming. In this end they become after you started preaching, but many of them, even though they are being called, they still don't want to do anything. They don't want to work. They don't want to come back up to life to incarnate and do the work, finish the work of the Papa, what they were sent. These are what you call fallen. Humans? As to everything has been reversed to this end. Humans, you know what the monks does every morning? They walk on their feet. They walk on their feet miles per miles per miles per miles to collect food to feed. And that is what I am searching now. That's what I am searching. Who is who? Because many of you, these are those in the beginning that are you called Taoist. These are those in the beginning that are. After I have called Ezekiel. Humans? After I have called Ezekiel and showed them what's gonna happen to the Muslims. Because all of they're doing in Mecca is disgrace. Disgrace what they're doing. Making a Can't they think of your own mother? Oh, dilahara. Your God sees it all. And you are disrespecting the God that you think you knew but you don't. You said you know but you don't. Because if you knew my God, you would also know me. You would also believe what I come to obey. You could speak. Humans, I have lives, many. There's can't think humans because there's many. Those princesses, duchess of those old ancients was. And some of them makes me, I can't say it because it's worldly. If I say gig L, dilahara. It makes me last night laugh with him because he says to me, it's Arta who was the Miss Margaret of Slowdown. Arta, one of the apostles is, humans. And then Adonai is the Tudor, other Tudor, princess too. They incarnate as a woman. So meaning to say, they have work too for this end. They have. After in this end, they're just sitting with their, we're just sitting now. We're just, humans. This is the work. Not the work you have been taught. As it stated in John 8 that you are the devil, your father is the devil. What is taught to you is what leads you to be fallen in the deep hole of the lavas. You could suffer. Humans? In the deep, in the sink. Humans. You really have the, it's all stated in your book. It's all stated in your book, but you are not spiritually, you are deaf, you are blind, you claim to be me. You can see spirit, yet you speak the word of God. Women, it's really ridiculous what you've been doing. It's really. This is why I say, I have more trade, but you have none left. Humans, all this is about the work, spirit, the work of good deeds, dying for your people. This is why I, as a queen, came down from heaven to replenish the earth through by re-inking everything. When I have no life to incarnate as a human, I incarnate as a flower. I incarnate as a lady in the oceans. This is what I do, humans. I think creative. Being creative to things, even when I was spirit, until even to this end, humans, I am creative to things that, have not been born. I do it. This is why I say, humans, your religions is not and cannot. It does to the Buddha. It does to the Buddha because they are a Buddha that is lover of Amitabh, a mama. A lover of mama. Humans? They are a lover of mama. Which is, I'm not really about they are too me. They don't speak the word of God. They speak what's in their heart, in their chest. Those mantras, humans, these are mine. It's also the symbol of a chakras. Because the word Bible and the holy books, all kinds of books, whatever religions you are, is me, a word, a pearl, that you are casting to me every time you get by in this narrow gate, and you cast my pearls to me, the holy dog. You are a pig that tramples my words, and you throw it to me, to the dog. What does it does to me? It just comes back to you, backspires you. Why? Because you have no idea. Because your father is a devil. Humans? This is why I say, you keep throwing stones to one another when you are just in the same boat. You keep throwing stones that you are in the same boat, humans. It's that. It says, what a waste of time when you keep going back to your churches that you are only blaspheming me. And believing the word that you are when you are not. Humans, I'm not speaking alone. Do you understand? This is why I am pleased those who works in their feet every day by day, as I do that too when it's time for me to do my prayers by walking on my feet without any. Humans, in this end, when it's time for me, when a father told me to sacrifice for this, for that, I walk on my feet even when people calls me crazy. Not bothers me. I call them back. In the wilderness where I am, this is the pilgrimage I'm doing. When it's my time of my death, I go out without, I go out without, with my purim, with black, with just on my feet, and I walk throughout the village. I walk throughout the village without slipper, even if it's hot. Humans? That is sacrifice, humans. But you all been doing now is do nothing. All you do is just preaching the word of my Father, which you think, humans, you are blasphemy. Only if you labored, I have more. Because one life can take a tribes, one lives to 3 tribes. One lives to 3. Humans? Do you get that? But you have lost streets. This is how I become workaholic. I didn't work by preaching my word. No. When Father told me, speak about this, I do. Obey. Because I always keep His words, humans.